Indy 500 is just around the corner. Today, it's our pleasure to explore one of the most famous family trees in all of IndyCar racing. The first time we saw Bill Vukovich III on Motorweek, he won a leg of the Copper World Classic. The guy Billy beat is a member of another famous racing family.
Oh, that little I can remember when he was about that tall. He can't do this to me.
He used to lay on the couch sucking his thumb watching a football game, huh?
He used to play with my twin boys. I don't believe this is happening.
The Vukovich racing heritage began with Grandpa Bill. He made his Indy 500 debut in 1951. In 52, he drove the first roadster ever to appear at the Brickyard. And until the steering failed, Vukie served notice he was a force to be reckoned with. He won back-to-back 500s in 53 and 54, only the third man in history to do that. Then he switched to a smaller engine than everyone else. Asked how he expected to win with less horsepower, he said, just stick your foot in it. And sure enough, he did in 1955, leading the race, going for an unprecedented third win in a row, and then disaster. A simple spin on the backstretch, but in the aftermath, Vukie hurdled the wall and went tumbling to his death. In that horrifying moment, the Brickyard legend was gone, but thanks to Vukie's son and grandson, the family racing tradition lives on. Today, it's our pleasure to visit with the heirs to the Vukovich family racing name, Bill Jr. on the end, and Billy, Bill's grandson, who is pursuing his own IndyCar career. We welcome you both. And Bill, I think the first question is to you. You were 11 when your dad died in a race car. 8 years later, you went racing yourself. Did you ever have a second thought about that?
No, Dave, I really didn't. I've been asked that many times, and it was just a matter of I'd been around racing, and I was a fan of automobile racing, and attended a lot of races in Fresno Airport Speedway, and eventually wanted to try it. I had some friends of mine doing it, and I wanted to try it, and started out with the super modifieds and midgets and sprint cars, and eventually was lucky enough to get an offer from J.C. Agajanian to go to Indy.
One of the best.
Yes.
Billy, in your case, I mean, the family had been doing it for 50 years. Was there ever any question in your mind that you were going to be a racer? Did you ever want to do anything else?
Well, when I was younger, I played baseball a lot, and I said I always wanted to be a ball player. But when I was about 14 years old, I kind of, decided I wanted to race cars and started bugging a guy about running his midget, and he told me when I was 18 that I could drive it. And so as soon as I turned 18, I called him up, and I came home. I was back here in Indianapolis, and went home and started running my first year.
Now, Dad, the story says that even though you had no qualms yourself about your own racing, that you did, along with Mom, have some reservations about the kid trying it. True or false? Is that just press release stuff?
Yeah, no, it is true. I don't really enjoy watching Billy race. I mean, it gets so bad for me that I get concerned. He's my boy. And a lot of times, Billy, I've watched him run the Copper Classic. He won it a couple, 3 times, and I think in those 2 years that I were there, I think I've seen him actually run a total of 4 or 5 laps in the race. I just go down and I hide and I walk around in between motorhomes, and when he qualified at Indy this year, I went back in the garage and turned on the radio, and I'm concerned about his safety.
Billy, everybody dreams of going to Indianapolis, but for you, the dream came true with it was kind of a bolt out of the blue. Tell me that story.
Well, last year I was going to run super modifieds again, and I got a call March 6th from Dick Hammond, Gore Racing, and he offered me the ride. One of his other deals fell through, and they decided to call me up and have me run for him, and I ran 4 races for him: Phoenix, Indy, Michigan, and Pocono, and so I kind of led on to this year.
And you didn't even have to bring your checkbook, right?
No, I didn't have to. It was kind of neat, because in this day and age, you usually have to bring sponsors. But this year, Ron Himmelgarn and Bob Consani, who was my sponsor from California, put a deal together, and hopefully we can run a lot of races with him. I know Bob Consani out there, he wants to, win races. He's always been a winner. He's owned super modifieds and midgets, and he comes here and he wants to win.
Let me project into the future from both of you. Bill, first of all, from your many years of experience, what's the future for the kid? What's he going to accomplish?
I would hope that Billy has a good IndyCar career, and I'd like to see him win Indianapolis. I've always felt that that place owes us one. My dad had this thing won in 1952 with 8 laps to go. So if the old lady, which I refer to Indianapolis Motor Speedway as the old lady's kind to Billy, maybe that'll come back to him.
Is that your dream, Billy, to go win?
Yeah, that's Indy, that's the big one. My goal, I guess my long-term goal, I want to run all the kart races. I want to win the kart championship, win Indy. That would be, what I'm looking at right now.
Well, we wish you luck in that venture. We appreciate you coming here today. It's a great family name, and our hats off to both of you for carrying it on so proudly.
Thanks.
The Vukovich family. We'll be back with more on Motor Week right after this.